Mr. Louis Ng.
Madam Deputy Speaker, the Ministry of Manpower does not prohibit the use of mattresses in migrant worker dormitories. All dormitory operators are required to provide each dormitory resident with a bed, which include a bed frame and a baseboard or mattress.
Mr. Louis Ng.
I thank SMS for the reply. Could I then check if MOM is following up with some of the migrant worker dormitories and checking whether some of them have prohibited the use of mattresses at the dormitories, and if so, what percentage or what number of dormitories actually ban the use of mattresses? Thank you.
SMS.
Madam, I think, let me just share two pieces of information. The first is that between the recent years, 2018 and 2022, in fact, there were no active complaints received from any worker related to beds, bedboards, or mattresses in dormitories. But as the member was asking whether MOF does proactive checks, and in fact we do. Between the same year, 2018 to 2022, MOM investigated a total of 19 cases on issues related to beds, baseboards, or mattresses at the dormitories. And this, at that point in time, involved only dormitories that are governed by FIDA Act, which was only recently enhanced in 1st April. So at that time, the inspection was for larger dormitories, the purpose-built dorms. And I would say that all these inspections were proactive, but none of the cases that were investigated, as I said in my earlier answer of 19 cases being investigated, were related to prohibition on the usage of mattresses or any of the baseboards or mattresses. In fact, those cases were investigated because of two scenarios. One is that the migrant workers themselves discarded or misplaced the mattresses or the bedboards because some of them had preferences to sleep on a harder surface or prefer to not use a mattress because it could be a little bit warm. The other situation that arose was because the bed spaces were actually unoccupied, and so the bedboards were not actually placed in there. But having engaged the operators, they are aware of what they need to do to provide workers when the beds are occupied. So I just want to reassure the member that actually there were no cases in which workers were denied the use of mattresses when they choose to do so.
Mr. Louis Ng.
Thank you, Mayor. Just one last follow-up. I visited some migrant worker dormitories recently, and none of them had mattresses. And I actually asked some of them, and I think there is this misconception because they told me that MOM had prohibited the use of mattresses. So could I ask that MOM follow up on this and make sure that there's some awareness out there that migrant workers have a choice with regard to the use of mattresses in their dormitories? Thank you.
Yes, certainly. Dormitory residents who feel that they have been told otherwise could actually either approach our ACE officers who are on the ground engaging with the dormitory operators, or they could actually access the feedback through the Foreign Work FWMOM app, for which all workers are allowed to access and download, and then they can contact MOM directly to investigate any cases in which they are prohibited.